The Jigga Vision. We here live with my boy Roy G.
Yo, it's a pleasure to be here. Pleasure to be here.
Thanks for being
Honor to
here.
be here. It means everything in the world to me to be here, to be in this space, be in this moment, and to just share this environment and this reasoning.
Absolutely. I'm glad to have you here as well. You know what I
Right.
mean? So this my boy, like back, right? And so I'm actually interviewing him just because he was actually in Ghana in December. That's December as you know it. So just kind of want to talk to him and see, living in America, going to Ghana, coming to Ghana for a few weeks or what have you. How did he see it? What was the vibes like? And would he ever go back again? So I just had him here just to kind of like show you guys, hey, you can actually go and visit Ghana and see if you ever want to come back. So that's the reason why I have him here on the chat today. So let's start off, man. Charlie.
Charlie!
So Roy, so you went to Ghana that's in December.
Right.
What was the vibes like? How did you feel? What was the outcome?
Well, you know what? The vibes, first of all, the vibes were amazing, and I'm sure it still is amazing because that's Ghana. You know what I mean?
Right.
First of all, when we first got there, we were met with just so much like love. The dude that picked us up from, I can't remember his name right now. My apologies, but you know what I mean. He picked us up, showed us mad love. He was like, "Yo, what do you guys want to eat?" You know, he didn't even wait for us to ask many questions. Like, we're hungry, can we go there? Took care of us. I would say, and immediately start calling us his brothers, his sisters. You know, I'm sure you experienced the same thing and still experience the same thing. You know, so immediately we felt at home. Immediately we felt welcome. We felt peace. We felt that love. You know, we felt that joy, like that the vibe that everybody talks about when you go somewhere. You want to feel welcome. You want to feel like you're a part of the experience. You know what I mean? It definitely was what I felt and what we all felt initially. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And it's so crazy because when I first went to Ghana, and I always tell this, it was the same thing, right? It was just that brotherhood, that sisterhood, and you just felt like you belonged here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so that was my personal experience.
Right.
So we kind of mimic one another there in that aspect. And so, okay, so you get there, you feel in that brotherly love, that sisterhood, and everything else is happening. What was the first couple of days like? What did you do? Like, what was it? How did you feel? Like, what was on your mind?
Well,
You
see,
in Ghana.
Right. So check it. So I would say I wanted it to be a little bit more. I wouldn't say it was not authentic because it was, but here's why. We were with a traveling agency, right? So a lot of the things were already like carved out for us, like a lot of
Mapped out and planned.
right excursions, or you're gonna do this tour right here. Oh, it was. You got a chance to know, understand Ghana and its culture and its government and its people. And I wanted through that. I wanted more authenticity. But luckily you took me away from that. You took me away from that, and you said, "Yo, bro, I'm gonna show you what Ghana is. Ghana is about." And I think even though I was there with a group of people and we had an amazing experience, I think my experience was still a little bit different than these because you were there, you showed me around along with the tour guides and stuff like that. So the first couple of days, I would say it was amazing. It was amazing. Again, I wish I was able to just be a little bit more in the local scene, a little bit more. You know what I mean? So I think they should do a little bit better job. I know safety is everything when we go somewhere, but I think the tour guides and all those people, travel agencies should do just a little bit more to try to get people more in there.
To the local things, right?
Yeah.
And I get it, but also too, let's just let everybody know you was there just for a week, right?
Right.
So we factored that in and everything else. And I think that it was extremely important for me hosting you for those couple of days that I had the opportunity to be able to show you around, right? To show you what the locals are doing, what lounge or clubs that, outside of what you already had planned and mapped out for you. I am a firm believer, and I suggest this to every single person who do go to Ghana, who visits, to definitely go and do the kind of go see the castles, go check those things as well, because it's extremely important to know the history, right? So touring is fine, but also leave some time as well for the local people to really get that authenticity that what is talking about, because we want to see both aspects, right? So okay, so you in there a couple of days, you did the tour stuff, everything was going well. You know what I mean? I had the opportunity to show you around as well. What was like the highlight for you on your trip? Like, what was the highlight?
I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you the funniest thing. And I don't know if I shared this with you, right? So first of all, I have friends from Ghana, right? But they live in England. Some live here in America. And just, when they first met me, each of them, when they always met me, I was like, yo, you're Ghanaian. And I was like, yo, for real? So immediately, there's just a special connection that I immediately have, for the country, and I've always had for the continent of Africa, you know what I mean? So, but I identified with being Ghanaian.
Gotcha.
If I could identify anywhere else in the world, but my family. So I always walked that notion or kept that idea in my mind, based off of, what they told me. And, so, that being said, I expected when I got there, I was supposed to be like, I'm home.
Right.
Though I felt the joy and I felt the love from the brother that picked us up, right? There's still that thing that didn't click yet, you know what I mean? And I was waiting for that. And I would say it clicked for me, and it sounds weird. I think my connection clicked through pain, trauma. It happened when I got to the castle where the slaves were, where they transported them. When I heard the stories, being in that same cell, that all that stuff went down. You know what I mean?
Right.
Some of the floors are still the same. It's the
Right.
same floors that all the bad things happened.
So you had like that emotional.
It was emotional.
Right,
I was
right.
overwhelmed with emotion, and I think that's when I connected. It was like, oh, like it was very overwhelming, very heavy, but also there was a beauty in it because though it was pain, though it was trauma, that's where I found my connection with the motherland of Ghana.
And it's so interesting because I too share that same sentiment. When I did that tour, in fact, I did 2 castles in one day, and it was like, my goodness, right? So we kind of share the same feelings and emotions that overwhelmed us that particular day. Now, with seeing that, because I kind of want to gear a little bit to having that experience, and knowing the history, right? Can you tell me this? Growing up here in America, what was it that was being told to us in terms of what you actually saw there and learned there? What was like the big difference in that?
Well, again, the beautiful part about it is that I had the opportunity to be exposed to different people, right? So my friends that grew up or from Africa always told me like, yo, what they tell you about Africa, what they tell you is not true. But actually going there and witnessing it for yourself. I mean, you see the music videos, but growing up for first, I would say 15 years of my life, it was always showing the village or a kid, malnourished with his stomach, and flies around him, a fun the kid foundation or
Right.
and it was always something like that. So when I met my friends and I met other individuals that just like gave me the eye opener, I was like, wow, man, I always wanted to go, but I was like, I have to go,
Right.
to see why they hiding that.
Right.
Why is the truth being hidden? There has to be a reason, And it always it's funny because I feel like the movie Black Panther.
Okay.
It's like Wakanda, there's magic there, man.
Right.
There's something there in the ground, in the water, in the vibe, in the energy, in the atmosphere that just they don't want you to be
part of.
They don't want you to have that knowledge. They don't want you to have that eye-opening moment where you're like, yo, this is where it's at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And not to cut you off, not only this is where it's at,
Yeah.
it belongs to us.
It belongs to us.
And that was the profounding thing for me, understanding the resources that's there, understanding that they want it more than we do.
Right.
And so there's a hidden agenda. And so when I got there, right, that was what I actually found.
Right.
Those were the things that I started peeling off that banana peel
Right.
to then identify, okay, why is all of these things are happening in the world, and why is it that they're attacking us in terms of Africa, in terms of us, our color and in culture. And so that's when I started seeing that.
Right.
And for me, for the first 2 weeks when I landed in Ghana, the first time I went, for the first 2 weeks, I was emotional every single day, and I couldn't believe that I was there, right? And so you're there, right? In 7 days, you gotta be there for 7 days. You gotta go back home to Florida. What was that feeling when it was like, oh my gosh, Tomorrow I'm leaving.
It was, I mean, bro, it was, all right, so I'll tell you, sometimes when I go some places, the max that I can stay is probably like 3 to 4 days. I'm like, man, I gotta go back home because, just because, you know,
Right.
you're out of your comfort zone, you know what I mean? And just want to be back in your space.
Right.
I felt like I didn't do
I didn't do enough while I was in Ghana, man.
I was like, Jesus, man, like this can't be it. This can't be, I knew I had to come back and then, I have my responsibilities and,
Right.
but definitely, it's in the woodworks to try to go back and probably stay longer, you know what I mean?
Right.
Maybe a month or so, maybe forever.
So for those of you, for those of my audience, right, that hasn't been there,
Yeah,
they're thinking about, hey man, I should come to Ghana, whatever the case may be. You tell them, because I live there.
Right.
I have everything.
Right.
I'm getting everything established there. So I don't want, well, it's because he lives there. But
No.
for someone who visits for 7 days,
right.
tell the people, how long do you think, if you're going there for the first time, is a good time to actually be there for?
How long?
Yeah, you should plan that trip.
7 days it doesn't do any justice, Again, I feel like I left wanting more. Even though it was okay, it was good enough. I got a taste of
What?
no, but
Yeah.
I got a taste of the life. I got a taste of
The culture.
the culture, right? I would honestly say, and realistically speaking, right? It's probably about a month, man. 3 weeks,
See, I for those who are typically, because in America, for you, most of you who don't know, typically you get 80 hours, which is
Yeah, I was talking about your
I always tell people,
typical
if you're gonna
80
come to Ghana,
hours
right,
PTO
2 weeks
vacation
is
time.
minimum.
right?
You know what I
That
mean?
is
2 weeks is minimum.
equates to
But if
2
you
weeks.
can, if you're a worker, probably one of the, just like Roy mentioned, about a month, you know what I mean, just to get your feet wet. But guys, very, very important, we have to also understand that Ghana is not America.
Right.
And I'm going to repeat that again. Ghana is not America, right? I can say that we are a spoiled country here in America because we can get anything and everything the tip of in a second, right? We order something, it's delivered to us, and we expedite things here and all of that. But Ghana is not the same, right? It's a different culture. So patience is extremely recommended. You know what I mean? And understanding the culture when you do go there. Not to have that Western mindset of, okay, this is what's going to happen. This was going to happen. No, you have to come in, be open-minded, right? Especially if you've never been in a third world country before. Be open-minded and have that ability to understand where you're at, right? Because that's going to play a major role and a major key. And it also will help you during your stay. So, Roy, we spoke about how it felt. We spoke about how long people should actually go out to Ghana. You know what I mean? Now, what is the last few words you want to tell the people out there, based on, I would say, the differences from America and Ghana? I kind of a little talked about that a little bit, but I would just love for you to go ahead and dive into that.
I would also say, like, what I did realize also is that your money stretches longer. It goes further. You know what I mean? You're able to do more, and also I also feel better when I eat the food that was there. I wasn't bloated from eating food. I felt like I ate more because the food was was amazing, filled with flavor, but I wasn't stuffed to the point where I became lethargic or I became lazy to a certain point where I'm just like, okay, I'm shutting down for the whole day. So one, the food I believe is a plus. All right, I believe it's organic. It's again, you have to be there to actually see what I'm talking about, right? Talked about the money, talked about the food. I'd also say they're nice people everywhere, and they're unpleasant people everywhere. But I'll also have to say that I didn't see anyone that was unpleasant. Most people that I bumped into or brushed shoulders with, came across, they were very pleasant, very happy. Again, very welcoming. Right.
An hour later.
That is just very important. Even if you don't go to Ghana, right? I think it's very important that every black person, every person of color, visit Africa. right? It's very important. But since we're talking about Ghana, I think I think you guys should go to Ghana. Let's meet down there. Let's hang out. Let's go down there. Let's hang out. Let's have a great time. And just be with your people, man. It's such an empowering feeling. Such a and it's a moment of like self-actualization, right? When you get there, and when you're there, you feel like this is the roots, man. This is it. You know, the vibe. This is it. So with that being said, I mean, I can keep going on. I can keep going on and on.
We
But
know.
and there's so many thoughts that are coming, and I'm
Listen,
like, I can't filter them. You know
listen,
what I mean?
I get you. And we could do this for hours on long, right? And so we understand.
Yeah.
I've experienced it, guys. He experienced it. In fact, he's actually planning his next trip. You know what I mean? And so we know what it's like, and we just want you guys to experience it. You know what I mean? Lastly, I definitely want you guys to follow my boy because he's being humble, what have you. But my boy is an artist, okay? If you want to like,
Oh, that was true too. We did get a chance to make some connections musically while I was there.
and that,
Through you.
and that's all I do, man. I share the love, I spread the love. My resources are your resources. So when you guys contact me, you guys have my website and everything, ShayJeanPaul.com. You guys see what I'm about. I have a network loaded with a whole bunch of people, from security officers who can actually pick you up and bring you to your destination, to showing, introducing him to club owners and things like that, where he can actually get his things going when he goes back to Ghana. So it's an amazing thing, man. It's really brotherhood, it's really sisterhood, and I'm glad that my brother over here definitely experienced that. So any social media you want to share with everyone?
Yes, it's Roy G Music. Roy G Music. Listen, if you're into music of any type of genre, any style, you got it, you know. I love having fun. I love life. Follow me. I'll follow back. Follow my journey musically and humanly, right? It's an honor to be here.
Sir,
Thank you for having me
thanks for
on
being here.
this
Thanks for coming.
segment, brother.
Yes,
you know,
sir.
I hope it continues to grow.
First episode, I had to bring my guy here, Roy G Music. You guys heard it.
Bless me.
Thanks for checking in with Jigga Vision. It was nice having you guys
Jigga.
watching us. So we definitely will see each other next time, all right?
Yeah, man.
Peace.
Charlie! Forward ever, backward never.